Testing the microphones. How does that sound? How's that, Mel? Any good? That okay? I'll keep talking. No worries. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. You a good, Nick? Lovely.
First league, but
game in front. Hi everyone. Before we might be able to get around everyone, if you have a question, raise your hand and we'll come to you. You want to kick off? Ollie from ESPN.
Mikel, what's your assessment of that?
Well, first of all, congratulate Man United for the victory. I think we started the game really well. The first half an hour we were very dominant, playing the areas that we wanted, score a goal, had two fantastic chances to score another one. And after that, we gave them the goal, which errors are part of football, very unlikely, unlike us, but we gave them the goal and hope, and that shifted the energy, because from there to halftime, we really struggled, especially to keep the ball in the right areas after raining. In the second half, well, they had two brilliant goals, some individual quality and magic moment in big games. That's a good example of that. But with the change, I think we managed to shift the energy, score the second goal, and you could feel that everything changed and the game was there to go and win it. In the next action, None is 1v1 in the 6-yard box. We don't get anything out of that. It goes to a goal kick, they close the structure, one pass, win the duel, and Cunha puts it in the perfect angle to lose all the momentum, all the good energy that we were building up, and to go and win the game for them. So yeah, very, very disappointed, obviously, but it's a moment, especially after losing, and the joy and everything that those players are giving us, and me in particular, to take myself responsibility and be very close to them, because it's exactly what they deserve.
It seemed quite nervous at times in the stadium today. Firstly, did you feel that? And secondly, if so, do you think it affected the play?
I don't know, but we have to understand that we all want to win, and the crowd is trying to be behind the team to make the best decisions and to win the game, and we need to go through that. We know what the players need, and we're going to be playing much better in the next game, like we did 2.5 days ago, one of the best and toughest places in Europe to go, like against Inter Milan. So we know that we're below par, especially in certain individual standards, and when that happens, the margin becomes very, very close. And today they made those margins bigger because the individual quality that they have made a difference in the game.
James, athletic?
In the first half, Arsenal were in a really commanding position, having gone in front.
Yeah.
And it felt like there were some unusual errors in the game we're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
It gave United encouragement. What do you put that down to?
Difficult to say that. I think the first one probably leads to the second one, and the fact that you want to be more protective opponent for what they've done, and in the manner that they managed to win the game.
And obviously, you had a great result in the week against Inter, but in the last few weeks, it feels a bit like maybe the team are playing with more comfort, more authority in the other competitions. In the Premier League, finding it a little bit more difficult. Is that something you're observing as well, and what do you put that down to?
Well, it depends which game. The Liverpool game was very different, the first and the second half. When we go to Forest and you look back what we conceded, nothing, and the 5 big chances that we didn't score. But that's the reality as well, and we play in every 3 single days. I think to discriminate competitions is very difficult for me, at least, to put the individual performances of players or the collective one. But it's a reality that we haven't won in 3 games in the Premier League, and we need to pick a point now.
Simon?
Mikel, can I just ask you, Patrick Vieira was speaking on Sky after the game. He said there's still some questions about the mental strength of the team after that result performance. What would your reaction?
That's fine. I mean, we accept every opinion, where it comes and where it's coming from, and they will have the right reasons to say. We were absolutely brilliant in Milan, and today we weren't that good. Aspects of the game, that against a team that when you make those mistakes, they can punish you big time, and that was the difference.
Matt, Telegraph?
There were a few boos at half-time, Mikel, given you are top of the league and top of the Champions League. Do you think?
That's part of the demands and the expectations, that we want to win, and that's it. And individually, everybody can react in the manner that they need.
Okay, we'll do the last couple now. James, CBS.
You spoke about expectations there, but how do you control them so that they don't become overwhelming for your players? And I mean, you know, that seems to then translate to
Doing what we have to do, and doing what we're doing for 7 months. Exactly that. And the position that we are still today, even we have lost. I think it's the first time sitting here this season at home and we lost a game, no? So it's part of the journey to winning. And if not, nobody will lose football matches. It's how we react to that. And I am very convinced, because I know those players, that dressing room, and how much we want it, that we're going to react immediately.
And finally to Tom.
Mikel, I know you've been asked about the Blues at the stadium already, but when you're 4 points clear at the top of the table, how does it make you feel knowing you've done what you've done to get so far this season, and that's the reaction?
It doesn't matter. So we have to can rest in peace. And today we really certainly tried to do our very best, but we weren't efficient enough against a team that is very well organized, and we got punished because our own mistakes as well.
Right, guys.
Michael. Yeah, it was a tough game for us. We get things to for us, things we can work on, but the way the boys felt like Arsenal fans were quite edgy, even of the game, the flow of the game, and away from home in these big games. The game to then grow into the game, and the goals coming up, so it's I understood that, but best ones to win, so in terms of getting that feeling and that emotion, that confidence and that lift, so yeah, the boys have been fantastic, as I said, lasting 2 weeks together to put things in place and to try to do the things we've asked, and I said there's still layers that we want to get to and we want to improve, but in terms of kind of what it's taken to win these 2 games, they've done great.
2 fantastic strikes for the second 2 goals. You've been doing more shooting at times.
I can't take any credit for them 2 finishes. The move for Pat was a really good move, and the connection through the pitch, and but to finish it like the way he did was some finish, and you get there where kind of takes your breath away a little bit, catches you out, and it was a good start to the second half. And then Matheus coming on, having a big impact again like he did last week, creating a goal last week. I just fancied him to come out his feet. I really fancied him to score, and again, fantastic finish, and kind of epitomises probably what, as a group, what we've been like this week. Matheus has not started both games, but he's had a real big impact. He's been disappointed not to start, but he's used it in a really good way. 2 huge moments, and he totally deserves that winning goal for that. How he's
kind of disappointing results at home, so get away from that recently against teams much as I would expect to be. What do you think these 2 wins said in terms of statements about where this team are? Because I think teams will probably look at them and maybe the fear factor had gone against playing United this season, teams coming to Old Trafford and planting their chances. Do you think these 2 wins have kind of sent a statement about where this team are?
I think it's more about the feeling that gives us, really, as a group, and the players and as a club, and certainly the supporters. It's my concern more that of how that can bring us together and lift us. And every the bigger game, so we're not getting carried away. We've got really important things coming up that we need to kind of keep improving with. So 2 massive games. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of energy and a lot of confidence that you can take from that, but be humble and understand how we've got these results is really important moving forward.
We'll go Mark, and then last question for Carl.
What's your instinct then to ride the momentum or to calm it down? Because at the end of the final champion of the league, so I think we're probably going to look at it too far.
I didn't hear what he said. The chanting what? Oh, okay.
What's your challenge now? Is it top 4? Is it to keep the momentum going, or is it to calm it down?
I think it's, I know from our perspective, it's just moving forward to the next game, right? Get this next week. As I said, it's been less than 2 weeks that we've been together, so it's just keep
We certainly won't be anyway. It's a big week leading up to Fulham and games coming up. So we'll finish where we finished by getting the results. And I know that's kind of obvious, but looking too far ahead can come back and bite you really. So we've taken this week by week, game by game. We'll certainly continue to do that. But we got to ride it. You got to use the emotion. You got to use the energy. You got to use the confidence. But like I just said, you got to be humble enough to understand how we've just achieved these two big results, and it doesn't just come easy. So we need to continue that and bottle it and use it again.
Some of those negatives, like the FA Cups earlier, they kind of have potential advantage. You've got 15 games now to focus purely on the league.
Yeah, it's a clear focus. I said that starting last week. It's a clear focus, and everything's in front of us now. Nothing's going to change, but it's a good start. We just got to keep building. I said last week was a good start, and building on that, we've built on it a bit. We need to continue to do that in the weeks coming up.
Mr. Carrick, another good team performance. Could you share a little bit more about what you made of Patrick Dorgu today? Yeah,
Pat's been a big player for us over the last couple of games. I think in so many ways, if attacking wise, obviously he scored 2 goals, but I think in terms of the threat and his athleticism and his quality coming in as well, and connections, I think defensively he's been immense as well, down the side with Luke and doubling up against 2 teams that ask a lot of questions down the side. So it's a big job for him, and delighted for him because the 2 goals he scored, very different goals, but you get that because he's put so much into the performances. It's nice to see him smiling and happy. He obviously came off with hopefully a little bit of cramp, but hopefully it's nothing worse. But he ended up coming up. I think it just shows what he's put in really to the performance. But yeah, absolutely delighted for him. Just hopefully he's not too bad.
So more cramp than a suspected hamstring injury?
At this stage, it's hard to tell. Excuse me. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, for sure.